In the heart of ancient Ethiopia, where tradition intertwined with faith, there lived a remarkable queen named Zewditu. Her story, a captivating blend of power, piety, and mystery, continues to echo through the annals of history. But what if I told you there's more to her tale than meets the eye? Join me on a journey as we peel back the layers of Empress Zewditu's life, exploring lesser-known facets that bring her closer to home. Born in the year 1876, Askala Mariam, Zewditu was the cherished daughter of King Menelik II of Shewa, who would soon ascend to the throne as Emperor of Ethiopia. Her name, a beautiful ode to a delicate flower, was a symbol of the love and affection showered upon her by her doting parents. Baptized with the name of a flower, she was called Zewditu, which means the crown, a foreshadowing of the role she would eventually play in Ethiopian history. Her mother, Abechi, was a noblewoman from Wollo, a prominent region in northern Ethiopia. However, Zewditu's upbringing took place amidst the grandeur of the Shewan court, where she was nurtured by her father's consorts, a testament to the royal lineage and cultural richness of her birthright. Amongst these consorts, one stood out, Menelik's beloved wife, Empress Zewditu. She played a pivotal role in shaping young Zewditu's life, becoming like a second mother to her. The future empress grew up surrounded by the opulence and intrigue of the royal court, absorbing the traditions and values that would define her reign. The year 1886 marked a significant chapter in Zewditu's life when, at the tender age of 10, she embarked on a journey that would forever alter her destiny. She entered into a political marriage with Ras Haile Selassie Yohannes, the heir of Ethiopia's then emperor, Yohannes IV. The ceremony, a blend of tradition and strategy, aimed to forge an alliance between rival royal houses, bringing together disparate factions under the banner of unity. However, the fragile peace between Emperor Yohannes and Menelik would soon shatter, plunging the nation into turmoil. As the conflict intensified, the young princess found herself caught in the crossfire, enduring the hardships and uncertainties of a divided kingdom. Eventually, in 1888, when the dust settled and the alliances shifted, Zewditu, now a teenager, found herself once again under her father's protective wing, returning to the familiar yet changed landscape of the Shewan court. This wasn't the end of the journey for the resilient princess, though. Over the next decade, she wed 2 other nobles in short unions, each adding a new chapter to her intricate life story. Finally, in 1900, she entered into a 3rd marriage with Ras Gugsa Welle, a member of the royal family and a nephew of Empress Zewditu. Unlike her earlier marriages, which were primarily political in nature, her final union with Ras Gugsa Welle is believed to have been a happy one, providing her a sense of personal fulfillment amidst the complexities of the imperial court. By the time her father, Emperor Menelik II, passed away in 1913, Zewditu had navigated the twists and turns of multiple marriages, emerging with a unique perspective that would soon be put to the test. The year 1913 brought profound change to Zewditu's life when her father, the esteemed Emperor Menelik II, breathed his last. With the demise of her father, a cascade of events unfolded that would catapult Zewditu into the center of the imperial succession crisis. At the time of Menelik's death, there was no surviving legitimate heir. The emperor's eldest daughter, Princess Lil Iyasu, had given birth to a son, Lij Iyasu, making him the closest male descendant in line for the throne. However, the young Iyasu was only 13 years old at the time and deemed too inexperienced to rule. Amidst this uncertainty, the question of who would ascend to the throne loomed large, setting the stage for a dramatic turn of events. In the midst of this unfolding drama, Zewditu, the emperor's daughter, found herself thrust into the spotlight. While she wasn't the closest male heir, a different claim was about to come to the forefront. Drawing upon the rich tapestry of Ethiopian tradition, a council of nobles gathered to deliberate on the matter. Their decision would not only shape Zewditu's destiny, but also leave an indelible mark on Ethiopia's history. In a momentous declaration, the council proclaimed the young Iyasu as the heir apparent, setting him on a path to ascend the throne in due time. However, this proclamation was not the end of Zewditu's story, but rather the beginning of an unexpected chapter. Instead of stepping into the shadows, Zewditu was summoned, not as a challenger, but as the chosen one. On September 27, 1916, in a grand ceremony held in Addis Ababa, Zewditu, now aged 40, was crowned Empress of Ethiopia. The title bestowed upon her, Negista Negest, resonated with great significance, translating to Queen of Kings. Thus began the reign of Empress Zewditu, a period that would witness both challenges and triumphs, leaving an enduring legacy on the nation. However, the story takes an intriguing turn. Zewditu, while ascending to the throne, wasn't granted sole authority. Instead, the council, mindful of her lack of experience and the need for stability, appointed her cousin, Ras Tafari Makanin, as regent and heir to the throne. This unprecedented move resulted in a unique power-sharing arrangement, establishing a dual government with Zewditu holding the imperial title and blessing the nation with her presence and Tafari managing much of the state affairs. Now 40 years old and still childless, Zewditu's coronation in 1917 was a historic event, marking the first time a woman had reigned as head of a nation in modern Africa. Yet as the coronation gown was fitted and the crown jewels prepared, Zewditu grappled with a conflicted heart. Despite the grandeur of the ceremony, she couldn't shake off a deep sense of unease. You see, Zewditu harbored a profound admiration for her father, Emperor Menelik II, and a part of her wished to fulfill his unrealized dreams and aspirations. The irony was that to achieve that, she had to dethrone her own nephew, Iyasu. It was a heavy burden for her to bear. As the weight of her decisions pressed upon her, Zewditu sought solace in the quiet moments, turning to prayer and reflection for strength. The coronation went ahead as planned. In her regalia, Zewditu cut a dignified figure on the throne, but a shadow of melancholy lingered in her eyes. That day, Ethiopia witnessed the rise of an extraordinary leader, yet few knew the depth of the sacrifice she had made to reach that moment. Zewditu's approach to leadership was deeply influenced by her unwavering commitment to her faith. A devout Ethiopian Orthodox Christian, she saw her role as a divinely ordained mandate and approached governance with a sense of sacred duty. Her reign was guided by principles of piety and tradition, reflecting her personal beliefs and the rich cultural heritage of Ethiopia. Her tenure on the throne was marked by a strong emphasis on the role of the church in society. Zewditu actively promoted the interests of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, supporting its institutions and initiatives. She recognized the church's role as a pillar of the community and sought to strengthen its influence in various aspects of public life. One of the most significant aspects of her legacy was her patronage of religious architecture and education. During her reign, numerous churches and monasteries were constructed and restored, serving as enduring symbols of her faith. Additionally, she supported educational endeavors, ensuring the preservation and transmission of religious teachings and traditions. Despite the allure of power and the expectations placed upon her, Empress Zewditu remained humble throughout her reign. She understood that her position was not solely about personal glory, but about serving her people and upholding the values she held dear. Her humility was evident in her interactions with subjects and her commitment to addressing their needs. As the story of Empress Zewditu unfolds, we encounter a ruler whose life was profoundly shaped by her deep-rooted faith. Her journey from a young girl navigating the complexities of courtly life to becoming a queen who reshaped the religious landscape of her nation is nothing short of remarkable. Now let's delve deeper into her life, exploring how her religious convictions became the cornerstone of her reign. During Zewditu's time on the throne, the nation experienced a period of relative peace and stability. she successfully navigated the challenges of succession, maintaining unity among the various factions and interest groups. Her diplomatic skills were instrumental in resolving internal conflicts and preserving the integrity of her empire. Zewditu was celebrated for her ability to mediate disputes and seek common ground, earning her respect and admiration from her subjects. However, her reign was not without its share of controversies. The empress's conservative approach to governance sometimes clashed with those who sought more radical reforms. Critics argued that her resistance to change hindered Ethiopia's progress and ability to keep up with the modernizing world. Nevertheless, Zewditu stood firm in her convictions, believing that true progress should be rooted in the preservation of tradition and faith. In 1928, Ras Tafari, who had served as regent and had been groomed for the throne since his youth, began to openly challenge Zewditu's authority. Discontent grew, culminating in a confrontation that led to Tafari's temporary exile. Despite the turmoil, Zewditu remained steadfast in her commitment to her principles, refusing to compromise on matters of faith and tradition. As her reign drew to a close, Zewditu continued to champion the causes she held dear, leaving an indelible mark on Ethiopian history. Her legacy as a devout monarch who prioritized religion, tradition, and the welfare of her people endured. Even her critics acknowledged her sincerity and dedication to her beliefs. The sudden and mysterious death of Zewditu on April 2, 1930, shocked the nation. Rumors swirled, suggesting possible foul play or divine intervention. The story of Empress Zewditu moved you. Imagine the other rich tales awaiting you in our history. Subscribe to Tales of Ethiopia for more inspiring and in-depth storytelling from Ethiopia's past.